Carol Prohansky, try something new. Try something new, Carol Prohansky.
If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you do? I faced a fear in singing. I was terrified. All of my life I was told, you can't sing. Prohanskys can't sing. It's genetic. And yet, when I sang at church, I enjoyed it. I felt free, and I had so much fun. But I knew I couldn't sing. I mean, after all, I had the Prohansky genes. I'm also going to share with you another story. Evelyn Stevens, 26 years old, financial investor for Lehman Brothers, downtown New York. She didn't know she had the capabilities of bicycling. One day, her brother-in-law says, hey, let's go biking. So she ended up, little did she know in advance, she signed up for a bicycle race, a cyclocross race, which is a combination of mountain biking and road biking through dirt, mud, scrapes, bruises, trees, everything jumping out at her, and she had such a blast. She was having so much fun, she's like, sign me up again. And I was like, you know, I really like this singing, sign me up some more. And so the two of us, at different times and different places, said, let's learn more. I signed up for private singing lessons. She signed up to get a new bicycle. And together, we started a new venture. We tried something new. I was terrified. Thankfully, mine was private lessons. I could do it in privacy with only my instructor. She signed up, and all of her buddies were like, hey, you're doing great. You're having fun. This is a great time. And her buddies, a bunch of guys that she was working with, all said, you know what, you're pretty strong. After they'd been biking with her for a little while, why don't you try going up that hill, that 1.5-mile hill outside of the Hudson Bay River, going up to that bluff up there, and we'll time you. It's only 1.5 miles. She says, okay. So they timed her. Stopwatch. She did it in just over 5 minutes. A good male cyclist can do it in 6. She did it in 5+. She was phenomenal. And they cheered her on. Man, you got some talent. She says, really? So she signed up for a race just to try it. And she won. She won first place in her age group for women cyclists. She signed up for another. And she won again. She kept going back to the office and they said, you won again? Because at this point she was getting into more and more competitive cycling. She was competing against the big ones, the famous women cyclists that are well known across the United States. Me, I continued through my singing lessons. I learned that I could sing outside of the tenor range. That was the range I was most comfortable with. When I hit that first note out of the tenor range, I cried. I didn't know I could do it. I was so terrified. I had been working up, fearful, and I did it. I did it. I was so excited. I was like, yes, I can do this. I did it. And so she kept working with me. You can go higher. I said, I can? Yes, you can. And she was my cheerleader. She said, you can do this. And sure enough, I did. I did do it. And I was having fun. And she's like, come on, you can go higher. And I'm like, I can? Oh, yeah. And she would take me higher. And then she would test me. And she would take me lower on the scale. And I'm like, I can go lower. And I'd go lower. And lower. I can go lower. And I went lower. And higher. And she came back after a year of practice with her. She said, do you realize you have a 3-octave range? I said, oh, that's nice. Is that good? If if you know singing, you know the 3-octave range is the professionals. The professionals, after years of practice, can do a 3-octave range. And I did it after 1 year of private lessons, without trying. I had a natural talent, a natural, innate talent to sing a 3-octave range. Evelyn Stevens, with her cycling, she has a natural talent to take on hills, and she can. And she's successful, and she kept winning and winning. She hired a coach to take her through the winter season. Her first race in the spring of last year, she won first place in the Tour of Battenkill in upstate New York. It is one of the most prestigious races out there for women cyclists. First place. At this point, the cycling teams across the United States were taking note. Evelyn, how would you like to join our team? Wouldn't it be a great idea? Come on, join our team. We got a good team. And so they started recruiting her heavily. Eventually she competed in the Cascade Classic Bike Race out in Oregon. This is the one with all the top women competitors across the world competing. And she won. She won again. And back at Lehman Brothers, they were saying, oh, what are you going to be doing here? You keep winning. And she's like, you know, I'm having fun. And that's what matters most, having this fun. And she had this talent, and they wanted to take advantage of it. They, being the cycle teams, wanted to say, you know what? If you like it so much, sign up with us. So she signed up. She quit her day job and signed up full-time cycle training. She's in Italy right now, training to be one of the top world cyclists for women. Me, with my octave scale, I continued my training for another year, having so much fun and enjoying my experiences, learning how to sing better. I had a blast. But when I moved, I decided I was going to try something new. Why? Because you need to have passion. You need to have heart in whatever it is you're doing. And if you want to shift, to try something new, you don't need just talent, just innate abilities. You need to have persistence and passion. Passion is so important in whatever it is you take on. I enjoyed my singing. I had the best time. But as time went on, I realized I was ready to try some other new things, like Toastmasters and improv. I want to ask you to also look inside of you, to overcome your fears, to try something new. When you try something new, know it can be really, really scary. But if you have the right cheerleaders cheering you on, if you give yourself permission to make mistakes, you will also find that you have innate talents that you had no idea existed within you. And if you have that passion, you will be very, very powerful.